Let's go over some simple rules for subtracting signed numbers. So first we have this little phrase that says every subtraction is an addition. So for example, let's look at 50 subtract 25. Well, we know that's equal to 25, but we're going to view this as 50. And then I'm just going to spread apart the 50 and the 25, and I'm going to attach that subtraction symbol to the second number. So here we have 50 subtract 25, but I'm just going to view this as 50 and 50 plus minus 25. So we have this imaginary plus sign in between that we don't necessarily write in. So this is 50 plus minus 25, and that's how we turn a subtraction into an addition. Remember the rule, we subtract and take the sign of the larger number, so we're going to, that is the larger in absolute value, so we say 50 subtract 25 is 25, and since 50 is larger, the answer is positive, so we have positive 25. Well, let's look at another one. Let's say we have 30 subtract 70. So this is equal to, let's again just spread the numbers apart. So we're looking at 30 and we're looking at minus 70, and we're imagining a plus sign in between. We don't write this in. So 30 plus minus 70 subtracts sign of bigger. We subtract, we get 40, and since 70 is larger, our answer is negative 40. Okay, let's continue in this way. Let's say we have minus 50 subtract 20. All right, again, spread the numbers apart. So we're looking at minus 50 plus an imaginary plus sign, minus 50 plus minus 20. We add two negative numbers in the usual way, and the answer is negative, so it would be negative 70. Okay, and now let's look at 50 subtract negative 30. So we would say that that's 50, imaginary plus sign, and here we have minus minus 30. Well, the negative of a negative is a positive. So when we have two minus signs in a row, that turns into a single plus. So here we have 50 plus 30. Now the way I like to do this type of problem is I like to go, I don't necessarily spread them apart like I did above. When I see that I'm subtracting a negative, I immediately turn that into a single plus. Okay? In other words, minus a minus is a plus, is a positive. So I turn this right away into 50 plus 30. All right, and I like to remember this in the following way. When you subtract a negative, you add a positive. So I think it's worth remembering this phrase for this situation. When you subtract a negative, you end up replacing it with a single plus, adding a positive. And now let's do some more examples. Okay, we'll start here. 70 subtract 40. That's the same as 70 plus minus 40. And we subtract sign of bigger, so that would be subtract, we get 30. And it's positive 30 because 70 is larger than 40. Okay, here we again spread apart 30 minus 70. imaginary plus sign in between. So the rule is, the rule for addition, this time maybe I'll put this in. Okay, this imaginary plus sign. The rule for addition is subtract sign of bigger. So we're subtracting. 70 subtract 30 is 40. And the answer is minus 40 because 70 is the larger number. All right, now 25 minus 50. 25 minus 50. Okay, subtract sign of bigger. So 50 minus 25 is 25. And the answer is negative because 50 is larger than 25. Now here we're in the situation we're subtracting a negative. So when we subtract a negative, we add a positive. So just turn that into a plus. And we're doing 30 plus 50, which is 80. In number 5, again, subtracting a negative, turn that into one single plus, so we have minus 40. And this turns into minus 40 plus 60. Positive, negative being added, subtract sign of bigger. When we subtract, we get 20. And that'll be positive 20 because 60 is larger than 40. Now here again, we're in the situation where we're subtracting a negative, so I'm going to rewrite this as negative 30 plus 40. Positive and negative, subtract sign of bigger, subtract we get 10, and that would be a positive 10 because 40 is the larger number. All right, here we go again, subtracting a negative, so that would be minus 90 plus 10. Subtract sign of bigger, so we're subtracting 90 subtract 10 is 80, and since 90 is bigger than 10, that would be negative 80. Okay, here let's rewrite this. Minus 70 plus 20. We're subtracting because we're adding a positive and a negative, so we subtract sign of bigger. Subtract, we get 50. And that would be negative 50 because 70 is larger than 20. All right, here, let's rewrite, spread this apart, minus 10 minus 50. An imaginary plus sign in between, so we're adding a minus 10 and a minus 50, so we get a minus 60. When we add a negative and a negative, we add in the usual way, and the answer is negative. And here also, let's just spread this apart, minus 50 minus 30. So we're adding a negative and a negative, and we get negative 80.